Weapons is being called one of the best horror films of 2025. With an impressive 93% Rotten Tomatoes score and tons of praise from critics, the movie has been a big success since its release. If you're one of the people who saw this movie, then you already know how disturbing the plot is. But what if I told you that behind the surface level plot lies an even darker story? One that may connect this movie to a sinister conspiracy and even a real-life mysterious death. By the end of this video, you will likely see Weapons in a whole different horrifying way, and you will realize that Weapons is more than just a horror movie, but instead an expose. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about the horror movie Weapons. I want to warn you that there will be spoilers ahead. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video so we can get this video seen by as many people who need to see it. Simply by leaving a like and a comment, you can help this information spread to others. I want to thank you all. Now, let's get right into it. The movie Weapons isn't your average horror movie. While yes, it might have some disturbing gory scenes and cliche jump scares, it's different because this movie has a revealing message buried underneath the surface level plot that most are unaware of. While many people have likely heard or even seen this movie, very few know what inspired this movie and what this movie is secretly revealing. The movie Weapons was written and co-produced by Zach Cregger. Before Zach was making horror films, he was actually a part of the comedy group called The Whitest Kid You Know, alongside of Trevor Moore. Most people don't know that this movie is actually dedicated to Trevor Moore, who died in a mysterious accident in his home back in 2021. While Weapons might not seem related to the death of Trevor in a direct way, Zach has admitted that the death of his friend inspired this movie, dedicating the film to him, releasing it on the 4th anniversary of his death. He actually hid tributes to Trevor in the movie, and it seems to reveal something sinister about his death. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. We will come back to this later in the video, so make sure you watch to the end. Before I can expose what this movie reveals about Trevor's death, I first need to provide you guys with a quick breakdown of the movie. I want to warn you that there will be spoilers ahead. If you've seen Weapons, then you know the story is told in a scrambled timeline, which was the part of the movie that I didn't like. It made it feel like it was all over the place. So for the sake of proper storytelling, I will only talk about the main storyline of the film. The movie is about a family that consists of a mom, dad, and a child named Alex. Alex and his family take in their strange aunt named Gladys, who is extremely sick and dying. The next day after his aunt arrives to stay with them, his dad dropped Alex off at school. When school was finished, Alex wasn't picked up by his parents for some reason, so he ended up walking home by himself. When he got home, he noticed his parents were acting unusually. They were both sitting at the dining room table, staring into space, responding to him strangely, and barely moving. Out of nowhere, this is when his Aunt Gladys shows up and tells him his parents are fine. But Alex knows there's something up and throws a cup of water in his father's face, who barely reacts. This angers Gladys, who then sends Alex to his room. The next day, Alex wakes up and goes downstairs to find his parents still sitting in the same spot he left them, with Aunt Gladys sitting by them. Gladys tells Alex that he is not to tell anyone that she is at their home or that their parents are acting the way that they're acting. She then shows Alex that she has full control over his parents. She does this by doing some sort of witchcraft ritual that allows her to control his parents. She uses it to force them to poke themselves in the face with forks right in front of him. Alex tries to stop them, but they won't stop or listen to him. They only stop after Gladys commands them to. Aunt Gladys then tells him that she would do way worse to his family if he doesn't listen to her. Alex then goes to school and does what Gladys says and tells no one. When he got back home later that day, Gladys told him that he must feed his parents, which he does. The next day, Alex sees his Aunt Gladys looking sick. She called him into her room and told him that she was very sick and believed his parents would have made her feel better. But whatever ritual she did to them didn't heal her. She then tells Alex that he can make her feel better. All he needs to do is go to school and bring back one item that belongs to every student in his class, which Alex does the next day, bringing back their name tags. When Gladys gets them, she then uses them to put his classmates under the same spell his mother and father were under. She makes every kid in his class run out of their home in the middle of the night. All at the same time, his classmates leave their house and end up making their way to Alex's home. The next day, Alex goes to school and he's the only student who shows up to his class. Eventually, the parents of the missing children demand answers and believe that their class teacher has something to do with what happened to the missing children. When the police end up going to Alex's home to investigate, Gladys has Alex clean up the house and uses a spell to transfer the children to a different location in the middle of the night. Eventually, the class teacher and the father of one of the missing kids team up to try to figure out what's going on. They eventually end up at Alex's house, where they were attacked by the people Gladys had under a spell. Eventually, the teacher and the father ended up creating enough of a distraction that allowed Alex to run into Gladys' room. He then finds her ritual objects and uses it to control all his classmates. He puts the spell on the children, and they immediately start charging towards Aunt Gladys, who tries to make a run for it. Unfortunately for her though, the class of kids catch up to her and brutally rip her apart. When she dies, the spells are all broken and the kids go back to normal. And that's how the movie ends. As you can see, this movie was seriously disturbing. From witchcraft, rituals, to child abductions, and even MKUltra, this movie touched on it all. While the movie might seem like just another horror movie, once you understand what the movie is really about, you will see why it's much deeper than that. On the surface, the movie is about the witch Aunt Gladys, who goes to Alex's family's house to do a soul harvesting ritual on the parents to steal their youth. But since they're full-grown adults, it doesn't work. So instead, she uses Alex to put all the students in his class under that harvesting spell. She then uses an occult ritual to steal the youth from the children. What the movie is actually about is the truth on why so many children go missing every year, and how it's all connected to witchcraft rituals. The movie is also deeply connected to Trevor Moore's death, and I will explain why in just a moment. But first, let's unpack everything the movie was revealing. At the beginning of the movie, the child who is narrating the story tells us that this story is based on a true story. While she was referring to the story that takes place inside of the world of the movie, I saw this as being a literal message, telling us that this movie is based on real situations that are happening in real life. We will see more examples of this throughout this breakdown. We also need to talk about the ritual Aunt Gladys uses to control people and steal their youth. In the movie, she is seen doing a strange ritual using a stick and this bell with this inverted triangle symbol on it, along with the number 6. Clearly, this is a reference to the magical system of alchemy. The inverted triangle is a symbol in alchemy and also in other occult groups, indicating this occult witchcraft is inspired by real occult rituals. This occult ritual utilizes an object that belongs to the person they are trying to affect with the magic, and it also requires the blood of the caster, which would make this a blood ritual just like we saw them utilizing in the Him movie. If you haven't seen the video I made on Him, make sure you watch it after this one. You're not going to want to miss it. The link would be in the description. This spell not only harvested the souls and stole their youth, but also forced a person under the spell to become zombie-like. Believe it or not, some people believe that they can use witchcraft to turn people into their zombie puppets, like the Haitian voodoo zombie spell. This is used to turn people into zombie slaves. The main purpose of putting the children under the spell was to steal their youth. We all know that children abductions are a huge problem all over the world, with hundreds of thousands of children going missing each year. I recently made a Patreon exclusive on the disappearance of 100 kids in Virginia in just 1 month. This movie to me explains why so many children are going missing. It tells us why these monsters are going after the children and what they're doing to so many of them. Coincidentally, they released a movie about a class full of children going missing around the same time 100 kids randomly go missing in Virginia. We know they're after the children, and this is the very thing Gladys was showing us, showing that she was using occult rituals to harvest the souls and the youth of these children. We know that the elites did the same on Epstein's Island, and this is still going on to this very day. This is what this movie is truly about. It's showing us the disturbing reality of the world, why that Epstein list will never come out. Now, like I said earlier, Zach Cregger was inspired to create this movie by Trevor Moore's death. You may be wondering in which way though. For starters, Zach admitted this himself during an interview. On top of this, he also released a movie on August 7th, the same day Trevor Moore died. August 7th, 2025 would have been the 4th year anniversary of his death. Zach also hit some Easter egg tributes that were directly intended to allude to the death of his good friend Trevor Moore. For instance, the scene that showed the principal and his partner eating 7 hot dogs was in reference to Trevor Moore. In this scene, Aunt Gladys shows up and uses a ritual to force the principal to kill his partner. There's also another scene that's connected to Trevor. It's believed Trevor Moore died around 2:30 a.m. after mysteriously falling off his balcony. In the movie, Alex wakes up at 2:15 a.m. to find Aunt Gladys doing a ritual to bring all the kids to the house. This is around the same time it's believed Trevor Moore mysteriously fell off his balcony. Now you may be wondering what was the connection between these scenes and Trevor Moore's death. Why would Zach Kreger dedicate a movie about witchcraft and child abductions to his friend Trevor Moore? He released the movie on the 4th year anniversary of his death. Well, this is where things start to get eerie. If any of you have seen my Patreon exclusive video on Trevor Moore, you know exactly why Trevor Moore is dead. See, Trevor Moore wasn't your regular comedian. He was known to put controversial subject matters into his comedy skits, more often than not, using his skits to expose Hollywood's elite PDF files. Trevor actually made several skits that are now truly alarming, like this music video that was a parody of Justin Bieber's video. The video literally exposed how the industry was grooming and being inappropriate with him. Or this skit where he straight up exposes the Hollywood elite for making talent sell their souls and participate in rituals with children. I can't play the actual audio of these skits because the video will get blocked, but I do show them on the Patreon exclusive video about Trevor Moore. One thing was clear. Trevor was exposing the elite satanic child rituals through his work. So many of his comedy skits were all about exposing what the elite are doing. They even showed a scene in the Justin Bieber video that shows them worshipping Baphomet. This has led many people to believe Trevor Moore didn't accidentally fall off a balcony. This is what I believe Weapons is telling us too. Just think about the two moments they make direct references to Trevor. It's when the witch is using the spell, and the scene where Aunt Gladys puts the spell on the principal and makes him kill his boyfriend. Also the scene where Alex wakes up and Gladys is putting the spell on the kids. The spell that puts victims under mind control. In the movie, Gladys uses the ritual to turn people into literal sleeper cell assassins. Once she activates them, they don't stop until they take out the target she sixed them on, like we saw with the scene of the principal attacking the teacher. All of this was awfully similar to what MKUltra was being developed for. Starting in the late 50s, the CIA were developing a method to brainwash and control a person in order to turn them into sleeper cells. This movie clearly alludes to the ritualistic aspect of this, how Gladys uses a ritual to turn people into her mind-controlled puppets, making them do whatever she wants them to, like she did to Alex's parents when she made them poke themselves repeatedly with a fork. I believe Zach Kreger was trying to secretly reveal what happened to his best friend, telling us through the plot of this movie that his friend was put under this hypnosis mind control to make him do what he did that night. He didn't fall by accident, but was manipulated to. It's obvious. The reason they did this to him was because he was exposing them through his work. I believe Zach was showing us in this movie what they did to Trevor Moore. To me, this could also point to why a person would randomly wake up and decide to harm a bunch of people for no reason. They were likely put under this same trance-like ritual. This movie was eye-opening just like him. Just like him, we can find plenty of occult symbols too, like the bell I spoke about earlier in this video, or even this scene where the lottery prize was shown at 666. I believe the movie Weapons was not only exposing what they did to Trevor Moore, but also what Trevor Moore likely died for. The movie exposed the elite's most disturbing secrets. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.